controlled the archbishop and the masses on this subject. Stepinac expressed his concern to the NDH leaders that their inhumane policies against the Jews took a totalitarian character which threatened to inflict great damage on the Croatian people and the Catholic Church. Thus he warned them, due to the malicious conduct of Pavelić's regime, the Croatian people would have to bear full responsibility for Ustaše conduct as well as for the growth of communism. Despite the threat on his life, Stepinac maintained close contact with the Jewish community in Zagreb and also in Osijeku. The letters of the chief rabbi of Croatia, Dr. Miroslav Freiberger, attest to their mutual respect. Stepinac was deeply moved by the destruction of the main Jewish synagogue in Zagreb, and in his grief he exclaimed, "A house of God, of whatever religion it is, a holy place. Whoever touches such a place will pay with his life. An attack on a house of God, of any religion, constitutes an attack on all religious communities." After this incident, we learned that wherever a problem arose which the rabbi could not solve, he turned to Archbishop Stepinac. In his 1945 testimony to the National Commission, King Coman, a Jewish survivor state, stated, Archbishop Stepinac was called to act on behalf of the Jews many times. He always responded favorably, but often his interventions were unproductive because he was considered a Jew lover by the regime. There was a major conflict of interest between Stepinac's position and that of the Ustaše and the Gestapo, who had different objectives, i.e. to eliminate all Jews. On December 6, 1943, German agents entered the Ladislav Schwartz home for the Jewish elderly in Zagreb and ordered the resident to vacate the building within 10 days or be deported to concentration camps. At the request of the Jewish community, Alois Stepinac organized the transfer of 58 elderly Jews to the Archbishopric building in Brezovica, where he was one of their most frequent visitors. They remained there until 1947. Jews have testified on behalf of Stepinac. Dr. Theodor Brunner related that when his father, Bernard Brunner, the chief cantor of Zagreb, was taken to the central detention center prior to his deportation, word was sent to Stepinac, whose intervention resulted in Brunner's rescue. Count O'Brien testified that from mid-1941 to late 1943 in Portugal, he met hundreds of Jews, my own place of rescue, who told him that they had been saved by Archbishop Stepinac. Olga Reichek-Newman, I want to do it not much, but just to give you the understanding of the depth of his involvement in Jewish life. Olga Reichek-Newman, a Catholic rescuer, described how her Jewish fiancé, Zlatko Newman, a Yugoslav army POW in Germany, asked her to rescue his nephew, Danko Stockheimer, who lived in Pakrac, and bring him to Zagreb. On April 12, 1943, a neighbor reported to the Ustaše that Olga has harbored a Jewish child. Danko was caught for the third time and sent to detention. Olga turned for help to her parish priest, who in turn approached Archbishop Stepinac for assistance. After a few hours, Danko was returned home. To keep the boy safe, Stepinac saw to it that he was placed in a Catholic orphanage, where he stayed until the end of the war. Olga Reichek was named Righteous Among the Nation by Yad Vashem in Jerusalem, an honor which he rightfully deserved. Ironically, the actual rescuer in this case, Archbishop Stepinac, still awaits similar recognition. I chose to tread into this uncharted territory of the rescue group in NDH within the broader context of Holocaust history, not only because I am a survivor, but because my findings convince me that the rescue and survival of thousands of Jews in a very hostile environment and under complex conditions demonstrate to us and future generations that dictators such as Hitler, Mussolini, and Pavlovich, along with their misguided philosophy, can be defeated. My aim is not to minimize the role of the Ustaše played in annihilation of 75% of the Croatian Jews. Rather, I want to challenge the widespread perception that the entire Croatian population was culpable, a notion advocated by Tito's regime and his followers. Accordingly, historians should not judge historical events just by their outcome. They must take into account attitudes and intention. Many Croats put themselves in harm's way by supporting and assisting Jews. Rescue was rarely provided by a single person or entity. It was an effort of many, each formed a link in the long chain of rescue, where each did his part in a specific place and time. I and many other survivors thank them. Thank you for inviting me.
Ja bih se zahvalio našim tumačima, to je u kabini, to su studenti Eriklave i Kristina Stakar, koji su spontano prihvatili da u ovom tekstu odradaju posao. I sad bih pozvao predstavnika izdavača Kršćanske sadašnjosti. Njega smo malo zaboravili na početku, da nam nešto kaže o knjizi iz perspektive izdavača. Možete sad odraditi.
Hvala lijepa. Nećemo previše dužiti nakon ovoga sjajnog izlaganja doktorice Gitman. Sve vas srdačno pozdravljam. Od dekanice preko svih profesora, predstavnika židovske općine i vas koji ste proživjeli holokaust sa osobito dubokim poslovanjem, a posebice vas studente. Zaista, evo dok uzimam riječ, pada mi na pamet jedna rečenica iz Evanđelja, kada je Isus se jednom sukobio sa svojim suvremenicima i kada im je iznosio sve moguće argumente razumske i svetopisamske, i kad na koncu nije mogao nikako pridobiti svoje protivnike na stranu vlastitih argumenta, onda je rekao na koncu, pa vjerujte djelima. Ova knjiga je zapravo to, vjerovati djelima. I zato je ona tako važna, tako značajna. Ona je, kako su ocijenili i u Zagrebu i vrlo relevantni stručnjaci, jedan vrlo vrijedan prinos hrvatskoj historiografiji, posebice ovoj problematici. Doktorica Gitman naime ovoj problematici pristupa ne negirajući strašne zločine, što više, oni su stalno implicitni, ali ističući one koji su